For the trot movement, this trot movement is actually easier than the walk cycle. At least I think it's easier. What do you first need to know? So while during the walk cycle, most part of the times the character has 3 feet on the ground. Here, since it's a faster movement, it will be only have 2 feet on the ground. And when you go for the run, it will be even less feet on the ground. Most part of the time it will be just 2, right? So the faster the movement, less time the feet will be on the ground. So for the trot cycle, we will start with our main keys as well. We will do the same process as the walk. So we identify the main keys, and then we swap for the other legs, and then we break apart and we create the smoothness needed to create a good result, right? So let's start with the up pose. And in the up pose that I already have here, what is happening here is that the body is relaxed, is not touching anything yet the ground. This is like the up pose of the run cycle for the 2-legged character, and this front leg here, the right leg, will be touching the ground the next pose, but here is not touching the ground yet. So everything is relaxed, the tail is dragging behind, and the head is aligned with the shoulders, but notice that it will drag a bit behind, so the shoulder is up, is going to be down, and the head will drag a bit. But for now, this is our up pose, and I will just copy and mirror it. Once again, it's relaxed, okay? It's not tense. It's not making any stretch for this up pose, all right? So when we did the run cycle for 2-legged character, while it was up, there was a bit of tension in the legs and in the arms to go fast, but it's not the case here. It's just a trot. So I'm just mirroring it, okay? And notice that I'm turning inside this paw again, and when this paw here come backwards, it's between the 2 back legs, okay? Because the front legs will always be between the 2 back legs, okay? So now let's make the same thing as we did before. Just create here 2 keyframes. We will make the down. So the down would be 2 feet on the ground, okay, and all the weight supported in those 2 feet, and we will need to compress a bit the body and make a sway in the belly. The spine will be rounded, but we need that flexibility, depending on the animal, of course, but this is a flexible animal, okay? And there we have the down. So as you can see, the down, the shoulder comes down, the hips are, everything is coming down, all right? So I'm making this wave here, this curve. So I'm making this flexibility of while the body goes down, it kind of collapses a bit. And look at the head, it's very subtle, but it comes down. But as it comes down, I rotate a bit up to give that dragging feeling. And okay, maybe it's important again to identify the back legs. I think it's easier to identify the legs and where are we making them. So first, let's look at the head. So the head, since it is, I already talked about the head, right? It's coming a bit down and rotating a bit. The shoulder comes down, and this shoulder here that belongs to the right leg. So the right leg is supporting the weight of the front part of the body, right? So is this leg here that was there, right? This leg here that was there, and I will just put it like this, is coming backwards while supporting the weight, and the next pose would be there, again out of the ground, right? There it goes. So this is our right front leg, the front left leg is similar. So what we have here is the leg was there, and the leg will go forward, so here somewhere is in the middle, so it will do this movement here. So the back legs, again, the logic is the same. Here they are both flying, here one leg is on the ground. Which leg is on the ground is the one that is coming forward, that will be supporting the weight in the following one, and then the same thing will happen to this one in the next one that we will mirror it. Just a quick note here for the tail. So the tail here is making this curve like this, and as the body comes down, we will swap the movement, and we will reverse the tail. As the body goes down, the tail is reversed. So now let's just make this pose here to the other, swapping the legs. So now is the left foot that is on the ground, and you see here the difference of the shoulders. So now is the left shoulder that is up and the right shoulder is a bit down, and again the tail is swapped. And this is our cycle, our main keys. Now we just need to break them apart, okay? And to break these frames apart is exactly as we did for the walk cycle, paying attention to the legs where they should be, and then paying a lot of attention to the head, so it will not feel like it's stick there as it feels now. Now it feels like the head is like somehow sticked here, and with the breakdowns we'll have the possibility to release it a bit. So what we are going to do is to add our breakdowns. So this will be our cycle with 8 legs. So up, down, down. And now let's make the break apart. 2 break aparts from one side to of the animation, and then mirror it. So this break apart here is stretching this left leg to touch the ground. So you just have to think one thing at a time, all right? Into this foot, I have to stretch it. And the same thing for this front right leg. So it's up here, but it needs to be supporting the weight on the ground. So let's just stretch it to touch the ground. And here, this back leg is just released and going in front to come forward and then touch the ground. The tail. So as you can see, since the tail swapped, I'm actually swapping it already here. Maybe you cannot swap it. You can find an intermediate pose. I already swapped it because as I told you, I did already made some tests before and created the animation before, and I liked the final result having already the swap created here. And the head, I'm just rotating a bit with the help of the ears, and I'm actually dragging it. See, the head, it kind of looks like it's coming up instead of following immediately the shoulders, and then it goes down only in the following frame, so overlapping, right? Okay, so now this pose here, again, one thing at a time. The head, look at the head. As we were creating this same animation as the shoulder that is going down, the head is coming down, and I also rotated the bit down, okay? And then the legs, okay, the legs are easier, at least I find it easier. It's like, okay, so this leg here is going to the front, it's coming to this pose here, so it's kind of easy to identify this middle pose between this and this, all right? And this right leg, we are stretching it the maximum possible because we know that it's supporting the weight and then it will be released. But to be released and to give that jump while we make this trot, we want it stretched to give that final push before jumping, right? Before being up in the air, right? That's why we have this stretch here, and the same stretch we applied to the back leg. So this stretch really helps us to create that that energy to jump for this little jump. It's not too intense, but it's a little jump, right? So let's see how it looks like. Okay, we have a good motion, all right? As I told you, I already tested. That's why it's working at first attempt, because believe me, this was not made at first attempt. That's why I'm giving this simplified version of my drawings, so you can focus on the main poses easily, right? So what we need to do now is just to duplicate the breakdowns that we made, this one, and we will place it here and here, swapping the legs. So here we have now the left front leg stretched to touch the ground, and this right leg, and this one is one that is just being released, right? And then yeah, and another thing that we have here is stretching that leg, the front leg, and then I swap the tail as I did before, and now this pose where we are stretching the left leg behind while bringing the left back leg forward. Right, and that's it. Let's check it. Yeah, so that's our trot. So we can feel, okay, maybe there's a little moment here, the head is coming a bit behind too much. Okay, so let's check. Yeah, it's better. Okay, it's better. So now it's your turn. Good luck. I think that this one, I know that these animations, they can be a bit complicated because you have to think about a lot of things, but if you focus on one thing at a time, and when we accomplished something like this, I think it's very pleasant. I really hope that you take some amusement while doing this, especially while observing your final results. You see that the more you practice, the better you will do it, and the faster you will do it. And while if you do it faster, you can feel it more easily. So this is a good cycle to enter in, all right? So good luck.